Hello everyone, hope you all had a great start to your new year. And we are back with more videos. Today Legal Sprouts comes to you with a practical issue. What if I ask you, can you be held liable for the negligent wrongs of someone else? No way. Now this would be your first response. If you had to take the responsibility of the liability of negligence that you have not done, well, this is a rude awakening because in some situations you are held liable. If you are an employer having your business or you have contracted employment for the purpose of services under your authority and instructions, then any negligent acts of your employees causing any harm or injury to others becomes the liability of the employer. In civil law, this is called as vicarious liability. It's not such a great news for employers, but we have a number of instances where we do see incidents. For example, it could be an employee who operates a machine or machinery without proper instructions or training, or an employee who is under the influence of alcohol, causing injury to a third person. Obviously, the law holds the employer liable. More recently, we also had employers liable because of the discriminatory comments that were made at the workplace by employees towards their colleagues or co-workers. A recent case also had a rogue employee who fiddled with the data, causing unlawful data breach, making the employer liable. It could also be simple instances where you employ a domestic worker and an act of negligence such as dropping a potted plant by a domestic worker while conducting or performing the duties of gardening results in an injury or a harm to a third person. Again, makes the employer liable. So employers, be on your guard. If it is proved that the negligence was caused by an employee in the course of his employment while taking or within the scope of your instructions and authority, then in civil law the employer becomes liable. So what can the employer do to protect himself? Ensure that you have selected or make appropriate selection of your employees. Provide effective training to them. Safety instructions and workplace practices is a must. Ensure that you have updated them with your organization's required procedures, restrictions, and what you will be implementing. So in this way, to a great extent, an employer is protecting himself from any civil liability. In some instances, the employers also go to the extent of taking an insurance coverage. So if you look at this, the law has absolute reasons or justifications for taking this stand. Who else do you think would be the best person to assess the risk or accidents at his workplace? Who is in charge of efficient selection of employees? Obviously, it is the employer. So if you're an employer, you need to ensure that your workplace is a safe place not just for employees but also for you. If you like our videos, do subscribe. We would also love to hear your experiences in your workplace, whether you're an employer or an employee. Please keep watching our videos for further updates.